What's going on, everybody? Long time no chat. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday or Saturday, whenever you guys listen to it. But we made it to the weekend, guys. Congratulations. We are here to keep you company. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Before we get started, as always, don't forget to follow us on the social media scene. You can find us at Twitter at @theblown_save and on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget, you can also still reach out to us at theblown_save_podcast@gmail.com, or just head on over to theblown_save_podcast.com and follow us anywhere that's on there. We have all of our links and stuff like that right there. But before we get too crazy, I got to bring in the one, the only, my compadre, the one, the only Mr. R.T. Casas. What's up, baby?
What's up, man? And then they say congratulations.
I know, right?
Because you're officially married in the eyes of God, right?
In the eyes of the Lord, I've been officially locked down. Ladies, I'm sorry, I'm taken.
Congratulations. Feels like just yesterday that we're doing that. Actually,
know,
it feels like I haven't seen you in forever, because we're kind of, you go through the process of rehearsals, and
we saw a lot of each other that weekend. Because I saw you Thursday, then Friday, and then Saturday.
Yeah, and then yeah, man. So I just felt like and I had seen you that Sunday before too, right? Because you came over to the house and stuff. So
I need more compa time.
Like, man, missing Ben, to be honest, not you.
That's fine. It's fine. It's understandable. He's adorable, and I'm just weird. So.
Nah, but seriously, I do miss like your family, to be honest. Like being around my compadres and Ben and Luke. I mean, I love when Luke and Leo play together. So, anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. I just want to say congratulations. Let's get this show on the road. We got a lot of sports going on here.
We do have a lot of sports. We got a lot of baseball to talk about, because there's a lot of stuff been going on over the last 2 weeks. There's a lot of sticky business we got to get into. MLB has really gotten into it with one. MLB has come out with the new standards that players will have to abide by or face a 10-day, albeit paid, suspension. And this goes to all the pitchers using or found to be using sticky stuff, not being rosin based, I guess you want to call it that, because there's little loopholes. You know what I mean? If you use the rosin and you sweat, then it makes it sticky, then you're okay. But if you don't, if you use something else like the Spider Tack, I think it was, that's like a big no-no. You're going to get a 10-day paid suspension, basically 10-day vacation. And if you get caught again, I didn't really pay attention to what happens if the second time or the third time, but I just know the first time would be a 10-day paid vacation, suspension, sorry. But nothing outside of the rosin bag is available to use. What do you think about that, Artie? Because before we get into what the players have been saying and stuff like that, but how do you feel right now, being the middle of the season? That at the beginning of the season, the MLB was saying like, "Hey, use whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want." And all of a sudden, they're like, "All right, no more. You're done." How do you feel about that?
Well, I just think it's dumb. Baseball, the higher ups, I don't trust them. I was reading tweets about it and stuff like that, and one of the tweets made like great sense, and they broke it down as simple as possible. That I'm gonna kind of repeat it and break it down as simple as possible, right?
Yeah. But
they're saying baseball doesn't ever try to intervene until something gets out of control. And I sent you it, and you know what? That's one of the things I was looking for you. I sent you that message that popular book writer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That he had gotten confirmation from other clubs that they had been cheating and stuff like that. Remember that text I sent you?
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Yeah. So then it was talking about, and it's true though, right? So, and let me give you an example. Back when steroids were an issue, right?
Right.
Well, they were doing anabolic steroids. They're doing greens. They're doing different stuff, right? But then you saw these players just hitting home runs at like astronomical rates, right?
Right.
Like it was super, like, oh man. And then they all look like superheroes. Like if they're wearing, that superhero costume where they're kind of inflated, right?
Yeah, they look like, massive, bro.
Yeah, so everybody started looking massive, like, whoa, wait a second, we need to clean up baseball. We need to come in here and start enforcing some rules and creating new rules and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So then they came in and they fixed that, right? And then, so then they kind of died down and they're trying to build up their reputation again. And then what happens? Then happens the whole the Astros controversy with, cheating. And then that writer clearly breaks it down. He's like, look, they're just the scapegoats for it, right?
Yeah.
other clubs had been cheating, in particular the Royals, right?
Yeah.
And then they just started throwing all kinds of teams on the bus,
They
right?
had the
Even like the
Yankees,
Dodgers.
they had the Royals, they
Yeah,
had the Dodgers.
the Dodgers, yeah,
There was
that they were throwing on
the
there.
A's.
So the A's, yeah. So they were just like throwing. They're like, man, everybody had this and that going. The Red Sox, everybody knew was cheating too because they got their manager got suspended, right? So baseball comes in and intervenes once it gets out of hand, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like that this is what's happening right now too. They're like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Now this is an issue. But this is actually one of those things where I don't mind it. You know, like people are bending the rules a lot with it, but they are bending the rules. And they're using foreign substance to get a grip, bro, to control the ball. Like imagine it, like how many dudes have been hit while doing this? How many dudes do you think will be hit if they don't do this? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Well, a lot of the pitchers have come out and said that the reason why they're doing it is because a lot of these guys are throwing harder, right? And they're just trying to make sure they're able to control that better. If that ball's slipping out of their hands, 99 fastball to the dome is not okay. Ask Giancarlo Stanton.
Right. Yeah. So like I kind of again, this is one of the few times. Now they're talking about the spin rate. So here's the thing I don't understand. In order to create spin rate, you need less of a grip. No, how is more of a grip gonna impact the spin
being able
rate?
to do that flick, you need to be able to flick it. When you flick it that hard, that's where the spin comes in. So, like, if you're even if you're throwing a let's say a 2-seam. I wish I had a baseball right in my hand. I mean, it wouldn't help people at home right now. But picture you're holding a baseball and you're seeing, let's just say this, you grip the seams to be able to get that spin going, and so be able. So
Yeah, but I
to
don't
be able to get
understand.
the better the grip, the faster that spin's gonna come, and the more spin you're gonna get, the looser the grip, the less spin you're gonna get. It's kind of like when you throw a knuckleball and you're not spinning anything on that ball. You're just kind of chucking it, and the ball is just kind of floating its way over there. So the less spin, it doesn't go as fast. It doesn't break crazy. I mean, the knuckleballs are nuts, but with a fastball or like even a slider, when you cut that, man, if the harder you cut it, the more that's going to move. So if you have more spin, that ball's going to do it's all aerodynamics at that point.
I get spin rate, but I still don't get the grip. You're holding on to the ball more. The spin rates come after you release it.
Right, but I don't know, the snap, we'd have to get somebody. We had to get a pitcher to admit that they used the shit and how it's different.
No.
Any takers out there?
I would think the grip has to do with control. Like, holding onto the ball correctly, being able to more accurately throw it what you want.
Yeah.
Now, spin rate and grip to me I feel like they're two different things. You ask me. I mean, I could be wrong. I would need to know someone that knows more about it. But like, it's one of those like an educated guess, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, the spin comes after the release. Well, release is holding onto the ball has everything to do with the grip, So I don't know. I don't see it. Now, the accuracy is where I really see it, But one of the things I know is not in here, so I'll touch on it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw this great feature on MLB Network with Pedro Martinez.
I saw it
said,
too.
All right, you found it?
I got to see it. Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that good, dude? Yeah. I was like, dude, I was in the pool and I stopped swimming just with like, dude, like in awe hearing him talk, right?
Yeah.
And basically, I'm just giving you the short story and same thing in the text, right? But he just said, all right, look, I'm going to show you how you do not need foreign substance and you can still get grip on the ball. He's all using just my sweat and a rosin bag. And I'm going to burn the rosin with my fingers. And that's what he said, right? Remember, I was in the pool.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm going to burn it, right? I'm going to burn it. Like, I got intrigued, right, when I heard him talking like that.
Yeah.
So then basically what he did was he just went, grabbed the rosin, like, did what they do with it, just tossed it up a little bit, get it. And then he literally, like, almost like if he was snapping his fingers, right?
Yeah,
he
you
just
can
kept
hear
on
that.
rubbing his fingers. Yeah, and he kept on just going like that. But not like snapping them because you want to get it just, like, tight, right?
Yeah.
And, like, burning it, like if you're trying to burn your fingers together.
Yeah.
Dude, by the end of the segment, the segment was what, Brent? Like, a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
A couple minutes at tops.
right? No more than 5.
No, yeah.
There's no way it was more than 5,
No,
right? Because
I
those
want to say
segments,
like
they don't
three
let 'em
minutes.
go.
I want to say like 3 minutes.
3 minutes tops, right? So I'm gonna say between a minute and a half to 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And by the 3 minute marker, bro, when the segment was done, he went to the camera and he shows his fingers and he's showing how like
Sticky.
how tight he's able to get his fingers and how sticky he's able to get them. He's like, so man, he's out to hear guys saying, that the grip and that they need to use this other stuff and blah blah. He's like, man, he's like, you can get the grip with what's already readily available.
Here's my question for you then. Do you think at this point the pitchers who've been using it have gotten so used to it and so acclimated to using it that the rosin isn't going to give them that same feel, and you think that that's why they're kind of freaking out? They're like, dude, like, this is all I've been using for however many fucking years, because like you said, everybody's been doing it. It's just once it gets out of hand, that's when MLB says, all right, guys, stop. And according to a lot of players who, a lot of them want to be anonymous, not that person not being fucking Trevor Bauer, they talk about, hey, dude, we grew up using this. This is what they taught us to use. You think that like Pedro Martinez came in from a different kind of era where he didn't need to use that kind of thing, so he was used to the stickiness that the rosin would give him. But now the newer players, the newer pitchers, they're used to the way the spider tack or whatever it is, the special juice or whatever that they use for the grip. Do you think that it's more of a handicap to them now because they don't use the rosin bag, they use that instead? Do you think that that's why they're kind of freaking out about it?
So yes and no. I have a couple different things. You said something I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was like, damn. Okay, so you said, oh, we came up using this. Well, one of Garrett Cole's big arguments is like, man, this has been passed down from generation to generation in terms of pitchers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, wait a second. Kind of what you said. You're like, well, Pedro didn't need to do this. Well, if this was passed on, is it passed on or is it not? That's like the first
Right.
argument. Is it passed on or is it not? That's one of the first arguments. I'm like, make up your mind. It can't be both, or
Right.
whenever it's convenient. So either it's been passed on or it's not. I personally believe it is tricks of the trade, and I believe the organizations have taught the
Yeah.
players like, hey, this is how you can enhance your skills, and they're always looking to do this.
Right.
They're always looking to bend the rules, however they can, right? Like players are looking to bend the rules. I'll give you an example, something small. But I was watching the Dodgers play the other day, and I was watching Kershaw. And Kershaw had the catcher from the Phillies at second base, JT Realmuto at second, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was pitching to, let's say, Andrew McCutchen, I think it was. I forgot who the hitter was. And Andrew kept fouling pitches off, right? And he looked back to second to JT, and he literally he stepped off the bag and threw his hands up and brought the catcher back in. And he's like, hey man, he's like, you could basically tell like his body gesture, like these dudes are relaying location. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these dudes are clearly relaying. Let's switch it up. This is what we're gonna do for these next 3 pitches, bro. You got Andrew McCutchen like the next 2 pitches, right?
Yeah.
Because he picked it up. Like
Yeah.
Kershaw clearly saw that they're giving location, whatever it was, because the camera angles we couldn't really see
Yeah.
what it was. Hershiser was talking about it like, oh man, it could be something subtle, it could be something not as subtle, it could be blah blah blah. Like it could be a number of different things.
But it could be
He's
as
like,
simple
Kershaw
as
picked
being
it up.
out there and go like this, like it's going to be
Yeah.
high and inside. You know what I mean?
Or like,
you
let's say
grab-
you're leaning when you're leaning
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
like if you lean to the left or if you're leaning
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
right,
yeah.
or like when you touch your hat with the right or the left. Like dude, there's so many different things. But Kershaw, like, there's no way this dude's falling off all these pitches and they're not relaying location right now. They might not be relaying
Pitches?
like the pitch because
But
it's
location,
too quick and
yeah.
it's too far. But a lot of times they relay location, left or right. Like that's what they do, and it's easy to do that. Because then if you start relaying pitch, you start messing with the hitter's mind. But I kind of think it's something similar in terms of messing with the mind when it comes to the pitcher. I think you're right, dude. Like in terms of that, like these dudes have been brought up through their system and they get used to like whatever it is they're doing, right? Everybody like baseball players are creatures of habit, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's hard to break routines and just all of a sudden say, hey, you know what, you can't do that no more. It's like, what? I can't use this pine tar. I can't use these.
What do you mean? I can't
this.
use these socks. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, right, So you're telling a dude like, hey, you can't use that grip no more. That sticky substance. You can still use rosin, and learn how to manipulate it, but you can't use whatever it is you were using before. And it's like, oh, dude, and they're having to readjust. The problem is they're readjusting in season.
Yeah.
So like that's the only issue that I don't like with baseball is if they had a big issue, like I like that they're just being reactive instead of being proactive. You know, it's not
Right.
like this hasn't been there. It just seems like all of a sudden now it became an issue, right?
Yeah.
But if
Especially
you're
with
gonna
certain
impose these things,
yeah.
yeah, you gotta do this like before the season starts. That way
Give
these
players to
players can
adjust.
adjust in
Yeah.
their off season to like the new trends. Because mid season, like I don't think it's gonna cause injuries because I see Tyler Glasnow talk about how like oh he got hurt because he wasn't able to use the grip that he was using before, and now he
Yeah.
had to put more torque a different way, and yada yada. I'm like, ah, oh, dude, shit about that, you know? And one of the things is again, like what I think of is Garrett, you're throwing a hundy when I met you back in high school, right? You could still reach up to high 90s. You know, you're just not probably being as effective as you were before, and it's not coming as easy
Right.
as it was before. Now you're kind of having to work towards it more than you had to before, and that's the issue. You know, Dodgers just took the lead solo home run by somebody I don't recognize, number 23.
Let's reel it back here, Artie. Let me bring you back here. You were
Sosa. Oh, that's right. We just got that dude today too. George
Jesus.
was just telling me. That's crazy. But yeah, dude. Sorry. Just because we're not like you guys, man. They had a big old lead. This was 0-0 here, bro.
I know. It's 8-1 now. Otani's up.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Dodgers. No, it's 1-0. We're talking about contenders here.
You guys only
But
up.
seriously though,
Go
uh,
ahead.
I just think it's one of those. It's a cop out. You know, like
Yeah.
and well, I mean, damn.
They're using it. I think they're using it as a crutch. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, like, come on, man. Like, this is how I grew up. This is how I do. Like, it's one thing. Like, I agree. If they would have done it at the end of last season and said, okay, starting next season, we're cracking down on this. You can't use this shit. Learn how to fucking maneuver shit with the rosin. Call it a day. Because anything else, you're getting suspended, this and that, yada, yada. And then they started the season. They were like, do whatever you want, man. Just do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. And all of a sudden, they're like, no more. It's like you got to give players time to adapt and get used to the new way of doing things. You can't just spring it on halfway through the season and expect everybody to be like, all right, cool, man, let's go.
I feel you, dude. I'm totally with you on that, man. Totally with you.
I mean, there's been a few players that have come out and not completely admitted to using foreign substances, but they have seen a decline in their pitching and spin rate and voiced their opinion to have MLB actually reach out to them and find a happy medium on what's going on. I know Garrett Cole is one of them. Well, he hasn't necessarily said that he wasn't using it, but he also didn't say that he was using a foreign substance. He just kind of sidetracks. Every time anybody asks, they always sidetrack and go, and he just tries to bring the conversation a different direction or just kind of give a very vague answer when it comes to that stuff. And like you were saying, Tyler Glasnow reached out, and they discussed the situation when he got quote-unquote hurt and had to take some time off. People were saying this was just to cover up so that people wouldn't see the immediate decline in his spin rate with his pitches. And like we were saying before, and as you very well know, Trevor Bauer is one of the other pitchers that have seen his spin rate drop since the announcement of the new rule by MLB. Do you think, Artie, I know this kind of touches with your Dodgers, but do you think the Dodgers and the Yankees are going to have some buyer's remorse seeing these two high-profile pitchers may not be everything they were talked up to be without the special sticky stuff?
Well, here's the good thing: the Dodgers didn't pay up the yin yang for Bauer. They kind of got him at a pretty good price for short years. So we're not gonna have that Albert
problem for a
Pujols
while.
tax, that the Angels had.
Let's leave him out of this, okay?
He's a Dodger now. But the Yankees did. You know what I'm saying? Like the Yankees did pay that
They paid
premium
big.
price tag for Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole's velocity, man, is gonna be just fine. Because he throws hard. Bauer's a dude that relies on movement and trickiness, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't overpower you with this fastball. He throws a little hard, but I mean he's not the power pitcher that Garrett Cole is, So I think Garrett Cole has a better chance of bouncing back from it than Bauer. And I think the Dodgers are okay. Well, I mean, he threw 8 shutout innings today, so I think he's all right.
I think he's all right too. He was also showing video He was like, "Hey MLB,
Oh,
is
that
this
was
legal?"
cool. Yeah, when you
He
told
did.
me,
He used the
yeah.
rosin and then the
Yeah.
sunscreen, and then he stuck the
Yeah.
ball to his palm and he just kind of held it there. It was like, "Oh, so
Yeah.
this is legal." But the other
Yeah.
stuff isn't, and he just kind of held the ball. I was like, "Damn, fool!"
That's crazy.
calling him out. I do like
Ah.
that. I do like that about Bauer, though. He likes to call
Right.
people shit. Like, "Hey, I've been telling y'all, and now you want to say
Right.
some shit, but this is legal." Like, if you want to even the playing field, just take out the rosin bag, and nobody can use shit.
Right.
And that's a whole nother animal, though.
Imagine.
But,
Imagine. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You know what? But throwing it back, and I'll give you a little closure, and I'll give you a little shout out to the Angels, right?
Uh-huh.
I was seeing the other day that it was the anniversary of Nolan Ryan throwing like 13 innings,
13
200
innings,
and
214 pitches.
247 pitches, and then he came back 3 days later and pitched like 9 innings again.
Yep.
Like, dude, bro, come on. They don't make them like that no more.
Nah, no, you'll
They
never
don't
see
make 'em
you'll
like
never
that.
see one pitcher go 13 innings anymore.
Right?
I don't care who you
Jeez,
are.
I mean,
9
dude,
is
the
pushing
league
it.
leader is, the league leader is what, like 3 complete games a year now? You know, like it's stupid, you know?
Well, they got so many arms in the bullpen that they rely on.
They
that,
do.
That
They
that,
do. The
that-
numbers and the way they play these players have
Yeah.
changed, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I think
Like,
nobody will ever come close to Nolan Ryan's record and stuff just because of that. Because
Yeah, I
they're
think
not
so
going to
too.
pitch.
I feel like the benchmarks on a lot of like I don't think we'll ever see 300 wins again, bro. And I mean, I don't see how, dude, you know?
Yeah. It'd have to be somebody that pitches for a very, very, very long time and then moves from a starting position into like a long reliever position and ends up, getting some wins that way too. But it's nowhere near anybody that's out right now.
Yeah.
The other guy I wanted to talk to you about was a guy who actually threw a no-hitter this year. Came out and said something, Mr. Carlos Rodon. He spoke out against the announcement saying that it's hard to see that they're giving out a 10-game suspension for cheating when they gave the Astros no suspensions at all. Rodon also added, if Rob Manfred can look at himself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm doing the right thing, then that's fine. Can't suspend a team you knew who was cheating during playoff games? That's on you. What do you think about that? I know a lot of people have, a lot of mixed feelings, I guess. Most of them are just angry feelings at the way the situation with the Astros was handled. Even the Red Sox. He does make a valid point and a valid sentiment that I think a lot of players are feeling after the quote-unquote crackdown. One of the big things that they're saying is that pitchers only started using these substances to counteract the juice balls because MLB juiced the balls up to help the offense and to get the games more exciting for the fans. So that's the quote-unquote, that's the only reason pitchers started using these foreign substances. What are your thoughts on that situation? I know we've talked on endless account about how shitty the Astros and shit was, but what are your thoughts on how he comes out and he brings that up to light?
It's one of those like, tell me how you really feel, like he's right, dude. He's on it, like he's a puppet, dude. I've told you that he's just a puppet, man.
Manfred, now we're talking
gonna
about.
go down as he has to be the worst commissioner in professional sports right now, or like the major sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other dude that's a puppet too, I feel is like Goldell, like I feel like that dude's a puppet too,
Yeah.
I think Silverman is the only one with like a little bit of backbone where he leads the charge and stuff like that. But I don't know, the NBA has always been a little bit more like that, but it also has to do with like the demographics.
I think so too. Yeah.
So I think it has a lot to do with that. There being less players too to control. The NBA has what, 18-man rosters?
Yeah,
I forget. I forget the exact
I want to say
number.
18, 19, right around there.
Yeah, so it's right around there, but like let's just say 18 on the high end, right? Because I actually think it's 16,
Yeah.
but 18 on the high end, and we're talking about 40-man rosters for baseball each team, and then football. I can't even imagine what the roster sizes are. You probably know better than me. What's the roster size in football?
56.
Really?
It was
damn, I thought it gonna be
55.
more.
No, it was 55, and then they bumped it up to 56. They added another slot, and then
Okay.
but they have their like reserves. They still have like another
Mhm.
20 other players in reserve. So the total number on the team is large, but active roster they can only have, I believe it's 56.
Yeah. See, and like the NBA barely started having like the G League as like their minor league
Yeah,
for their organization for the NBA. Like the NFL doesn't even have a minor league, like they don't
yeah,
have anything. The XFL, I think, was trying to be that, in some ways, I guess, right?
yeah.
But college football is basically the minors, I guess, for them. What else can you really be?
Unless they
Anyways, I
play
just
in
think
like
he's a
in Canada or something, or Europe.
yeah, I just think he's the worst commissioner in sports. I think he's a puppet, and I think he's a dude that reacts. And yeah, man, I just think he's a puppet, dude. Like I don't have any respect for that guy.
Yeah, like you
At
said,
least I had
he's
more
reactive,
respect for
not
Salim.
proactive. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. And I don't see him doing any things that's good for baseball.
yeah,
Where he's just like, man, that was a really good idea. Oh, that was great. It's
yeah,
just he's busy like doing damage control. And maybe he already had this in his hands, and he's just like, what can he do?
yeah. By the way, we were talking about Nolan Ryan. They just announced
Mhm.
today in baseball, back in 1989, Don Sutton pitched the no when he pitched a complete game, 5-1 win over the Rangers to get his 300th win. So
Nice,
yeah, that was
nice.
pretty cool.
Dodgers just hit another home run. All right,
Orale. When is my boy Max Muncy gonna get back in the game, man? I need him back in the roster, man.
all right. I know, I know. All right. What else you want to talk on that?
That I think we've beaten that with the dead horse and some
Yeah.
sticky stuff on it. I mean, at the
I
end,
want to get the last little bad thing that I didn't throw on there because I didn't want you deleting it. And I was really disappointed. Me and you were talking about it, right?
what's that?
So I just want to get the bad stuff really out of the way. And I'm so disappointed in Artie Moreno, man. Like I
Oh
was super
yeah,
excited when the Angels got him as an owner. And I felt like he was gonna try to steal some fans. And let me tell you, I always like to say that I like the Angels and I love the Dodgers, but it's getting harder and harder to like the Angels, like for some of the things that they do more as an organization.
yeah,
And I really was like pro Angels a lot before. I'm not negative against them. I just kind of like to mess with you a lot more than anything. But man, it's really sad and disappointing to see what Artie Moreno has done or not done for the culture. I
yeah,
mean, really, like he's the only Latino owner in professional sports, only Mexican American owner. I don't want to say Latino because, then we got like A-Rod just got, the Timberwolves and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. He's
yeah.
Latino technically, right? But Mexican American, and dude, and it's in our backyard, bro, and over here in SoCal, like you would think like he's in Santa Ana, like right where like the epicenter for Latinos is at. And
Yeah.
my cousin just had his graduation the other day, right? He graduated from Godinez, I think it was called Godinez High School in and they call it like a certain name, right? But long story short, it's Godinez High School, right?
Right.
And my uncle, he's the mayor of Santa Ana. So then he was like, oh man, he was on press and stuff like that. He's like, oh man, Artie Moreno really stepped up. And, because the graduations were all kind of last minute, right? Because of COVID and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were having them at stadiums now that they let students be socially distanced at certain places, right?
Right. Right.
So like I had my graduation at San Manuel Casino, right? Or the stadium, San Manuel 66ers Stadium.
Yeah.
And so my cousin and my uncle, who's again the mayor of Santa Ana, and that school where my cousin goes to is in Santa Ana, were in attendance, and they're like, "Oh, damn!" My uncle was like, "Damn, that was really impressive. Artie Moreno stepped up and really helped out, the city of Santa Ana and letting them host the graduations here and blah blah blah." And they had like all the graduations one day, like all the schools from Santa Ana, right?
Yeah.
Come and find out, my uncle discovers that no, that he charged him like 10 million or something like that. Like a big
What
number,
to the
bro. It
school
was not
district
like
or?
a small, yup, a
Oh
big
man.
number to hold their graduations there. And I was like, man. And then me and you got to talking where like, dude, he really doesn't do a whole lot for the community.
He
Like
doesn't.
not to the point where you'd be like, damn, I'm gonna be in it. He has a chance to steal a lot of Dodger fans easily, bro. Easily. Because, especially when he first got there, he had Socha and it felt like they were playing the Dodger way over there at Angel Stadium.
Yeah.
And that's what attracted me to really start liking the Angels more when Socha was there and stuff like that. I always liked Tim Salmon, so I was always a big fan of him. He's like one of the reasons I wore number 15, him and Sean Green. I really liked them. So, but man, I feel like he missed the boat on that, dude. And it just kind of like hearing this one is like another one, another like, needle in the side right there where you're like, oh, that hurt.
You know?
Yeah, I know a lot of people, fans, not fans of the Angels, whatever, have told me because I've asked before, like, how do you feel about everything that's been going on? Obviously, I've been rooting for them for a long time. I know one of the things everybody always talks about, well, not everybody, but people talk about, like, oh, the beer at Angel Stadium is cheaper per ounce than anywhere else in the rest of the league. And I'm like, well, that's cool, but that's not really something you're doing for your fans. You're doing that for your bottom line. Like, explain to me something that Artie Moreno's actually done for the fan base or for the communities and stuff like that. And to hear him even say, like, to hear you even say that he charged the Santa Ana School District when, coming out of the pandemic, trying to give these kids a great graduation. You're going to charge them $10 million to the school district to have the graduations at Angel Stadium. Like, I guarantee if the players would have known what was going on, I guarantee the players, especially I want the bigger players, right? They would have been able to, hey, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. You guys come have your graduation here. But I think it was something done while the players were away so that they could do the graduation, stuff like that. But honestly, I can't tell you the last time I heard that Artie Moreno did anything for Southern California, for the Latino community, the Mexican American community, let alone the Anaheim, Santa Ana, that whole area over there. Like, what has he really done? Like, really, to kind of bring a bigger fan base. They always talk about the Angels are not a first tier, first tier market team. They're like a second tier market team. But it's like, okay, what are you trying to do to build the community up? What are you trying to do to do that kind of stuff? Like, oh, they're going to build some stuff around the stadium and like some shops and that. Once again, that's thinking with your pocket, not thinking with your heart and what you're supposed to be doing as a community leader. So
Right. Yeah, and not to toot the Dodgers horns, but like I see Turner and Kershaw are like two big advocates, two dudes that are like constantly giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Like they constantly have events for the community. And I mean maybe it's not, I don't see it as much because I'm not an Angels fan, but I don't see the Angels players having that many kind of events for the community. And I just think it's a trickle down effect, meaning like it comes down from like Artie not. And I hate
not being
he's
involved.
Not related to me. It's not the same name, by the way. We spell it differently. He's closer to how my dad spells his nickname. But anyways, I feel like it's kind of trickled down. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like they don't have their associations that they're associated with. I can't think of the right word here right now. But like Pujols when he was there, he was really known for being involved with
autism.
Autism, right? Autism, right? But autism is not really the community, you know what I'm saying? I know, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe the one that the Angels are popular for is St. Jude's, right? Don't they go like visit that hospital, St. Jude's, a lot?
It's actually the Children's Hospital of Orange County.
Okay.
Chalk, yeah.
Yeah, so that is chalk, right?
Yeah.
Chalk, yeah. So I think that's like one of the things that they kind of consistently do.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, what else? Like,
I mean,
Turner has like the turkey giveaway every single Thanksgiving. That's in the off season.
I know that. I mean, obviously, you don't watch the Angels weekly or whatever that they do, right? But I do know some of the players go out to the local like elementary schools and junior highs and high schools, and they have given away food for Thanksgiving. They have given away like autograph stuff, and they go and talk about dedication. They talk, and that's not. I don't know if that's contractual. They have to do it or what's going on, but I do feel like the players are doing something about it. And not necessarily the guys up above that have the really deep pockets that can actually do that kind of stuff.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. That's not community events. That's not an event that they're hosting for the community. That's something that they're going to do. Like all the players for the Dodgers do that. They go and read books to kids and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about though. I'm talking about like, and again, it's not all the Dodgers. I'm talking about like, I know Kershaw and Turner from just watching my Dodgers are the ones that are really like involved with the community. You know what I'm saying? Like community events where like Turner gives away turkeys, like, hey, come drive up. We're going to have turkey giveaways, this and this and this and that. Kershaw does the backpacks every year type of thing, and I'm talking about like, and those are just two off the top of my head that I know for sure that do it like consistently, not an association, not like autism awareness and blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Which is not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad, bro, but it's different is what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it has to do with Orange County as a whole is kind of better off compared to LA County, which is a lot bigger.
Bitter.
Yeah, no, I meant to say bigger as a whole than Orange County, right?
Yeah.
So like all the big money is really in Orange County, right? With the exception of a couple pockets here and there places, right?
Right.
So maybe they're limited. They're like, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna stay in Santa Ana basically the whole time, and it's, Orange Grove, and like I don't know, bro. Like what I'm saying, like just a couple small pockets,
Yeah.
as opposed to like the Dodgers, bro. They could go or like anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And like, you could go Crenshaw, you could go South Central, you could
Watts,
go
you
like,
could go East
so
LA.
many places,
fucking-
and yeah, dude.
Come
like,
on, you
so
can throw a
many places.
baseball and hit a freaking that's an
Yeah,
underprivileged
you know what I'm
community.
saying? There's only so many like Beverly Hills, there are rich communities in
Yeah.
LA, but it's not like
It is
predominantly rich,
yeah, I got
compared to like Orange County or a little well off. So I don't know if those dynamics have anything more to do or why it's more like that. But anyways, I still feel like was an opportunity, and my uncle was saying it perfectly. He's like, man, he could have like made his money back on what he sold it to Santa Ana just on PR alone.
yeah.
Does that make sense? Like on PR alone, he could have easily just made his money back on saying like, you know what, like this is we're doing it for this and for that and blah blah blah, bro. Like PR, like alone would have been just so worth it,
Yeah. They would have made that back tenfold, especially with the community, just to be able to have that like, oh yeah, dude, like go ahead, here you go. And like I said, maybe the players didn't know, because I feel like maybe the players might have stepped up and said, you know what, we'll take care of it. Just get these guys graduated and let them have a good experience while they're here.
Right.
Obviously, we don't know the intricacies of everything that happened. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but Artie Moreno, get off your ass and do some fucking shit. Come on, set a better example other than I bought a Major League Baseball team,
Right.
and having bad contracts with bad fucking players.
Hey, he's got a title under his belt though.
He's got one. Hey, what is it you say, Artie, about one title?
One's a fluke.
There you go. It's got to be
One's
two
a
to be
fluke.
real. Speaking of the Angels, since we're already there, right? Otani hit a fucking blast the other day, 470-foot home run, and it was stated later on, they were talking to one of the translators or whatever, he said he got it off the end of the bat. He said if he would have been able to really rip into it, he might have been able to put it about 500 feet. It was deep, bro. Like,
I saw it.
balls deep.
But lies off the end of the bat.
yeah,
Well,
well, that's what they were talking about. All right, he's up to 20 home runs this season.
Did you hear it? Did you hear the bat? That it went. It
Oh,
made
it had
that's
that
not
pop.
you don't make you don't make that
It
pop
had
off
that
the end of the
pop.
bat.
He's up
Yeah.
to 20 home runs. He hit one today while we were recording.
Mhm.
That's good for third in the majors, second in the American League, only behind little Batty Vladdy and Mr. Acuna Jr. If you want to stay just the American League, he's just behind Vladimir Guerrero. He's also Mr. Otani-san, the first player to officially agree to be in the home run derby this year. It's going to be fun watching him free swing at some balls in that thin Colorado air. We talked about this before. I hope that Vladdy Jr. also agrees. It would be great to see the two go at it at least in one of the rounds. I'd prefer if they would be in the very end of, like the very last round, but that hardly ever works out that way. He gets to be the one, right? He always said that he always wanted to see a Japanese player in the home run derby, and now he gets to be the one Japanese player that's in the home run derby. He will also be the very first pitcher to ever compete in the home run derby. Otani does have 11 home runs over 425 feet. Do you know who the next two hitters to have the most home runs over 425 feet are, Artie? In all of majors.
The next two hitters,
Yes.
Giancarlo Stanton. Is that right or no?
Well, you got to give me two players.
Yeah, but so far, am I right?
No.
You lie.
Swear to God.
Lie. Wow, I would have banked on him. But I guess Tatis hit some moonshots so far.
Tatis is actually number 2.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I would have put those two because Stanton, fuck, he had one earlier this year, like really early on. I think it was through the rain that he just like obliterated
Demolished,
that
yeah.
ball. Yeah, but
So
that might have been just one,
Who's the other player? That's what I'm saying. He has 11. Tatis actually has 9. The next player has 8.
So it's got to be a dude that hits a lot of home runs. So Vladdy Jr., I guess.
There you go. It is Vladimir
Yeah,
Guerrero
that's
Jr.
it.
with 8. They have
Yeah, okay.
8 total 425-foot or more home runs, which is pretty damn
Okay.
awesome, to be honest with you. The
They all
precedent,
count the same.
yeah, the precedent that as soon as it catches the freaking fence, it's a home run. Doesn't matter if it's 500 feet or 396. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's over the fence, over the fence. The precedent has been set, however. The Angels point out that in 2016, Shohei Ohtani was the winner of the Nippon Professional Baseball Home Run Derby before Game 1 of the All-Star Series. They have a series over there. And then the next day, he earned MVP honors in Game 2 of the All-Star Series as the DH for the Pacific League. So, who else? I mean, I know we talked about this a couple times, but who else, now that we know Ohtani's going to be in it, who else other than Ohtani and Vladdy, and I'm guessing Tatis, right? Who else would you want to see that hasn't really come out and said anything?
I don't think Tatis is going to do it because his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't think that they'd want him doing that. But I'd like to see Acuna. Would be a dude I'd really like to see in there. That dude hits the ball a country mile, too. I'd love to see Juan Soto in there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Bryant's another dude that kind of yaks. I think Nick Castellanos another dude that is kind of has easy power too. We've seen Stanton and Judge before. I'd still be cool with them coming back. I know Pete Alonso's coming back because I think he's the reigning champ since they didn't have it last year. So I believe the reigning champ comes back to defend their title is kind of like the rule now or something like that. I had seen somewhere.
Wow.
So he's coming back. I'm gonna throw a curveball out there, bro. A dude that I really like that I've been seeing swing lately because I was hearing someone say online or on MLB Network is Rafael Devers from the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
He has a nice little swing from the left side, and dude, they're saying he is the best curveball hitter in the world. And I've seen him demolish some curveballs, and I'm like, something to that. Like I could see that, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Bellinger would be nice, but he's hurt, so it's never gonna be a dude that's hurt, If I had to pick one dude from the Dodgers I'd like to see kind of go up there and yak it, it'd probably be for sure Bellinger, just because I think he has kind of easy power. He has a long swing, but he still has easy power, and he's done it before, right? He did it.
Yeah,
Didn't he do it like
he did it the year he won the MVP. Yeah.
okay. He didn't win it though, right? He
No.
lost.
He I think he lost in the last round, but he was up there.
Yeah, he lost to the fucking Pete Alonso, I
Mhm.
believe. But he had a good one. It'd be nice to see him maybe help him snap out of the funk he's been in, this
Yeah.
past 2 years.
It'd been nice to see Muncy, but I know they're not gonna let him do it because of the injuries.
I always think the dudes that crouch down a little bit are not going to do as well because they have to crouch down and put so much pressure on their hamstrings. That's why I think like Chris Bryant, he crouches down a lot too, so I don't think he'd be like the greatest at it, But yeah, man, I'd really like to see some of those dudes like I said, Juan Soto, man. I'd love to see that dude in there. I'd love to see Devers. I think he'd be a really good one.
What about Castellanos?
That was one I had said too because I think he has easy power too.
Yeah.
He's really tall and kind of skinny. He has that Jason Worth kind of power that he used to, Like he uses his size and leverage towards the home runs, because he's not a big dude,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, man. So I'm trying to think of who else. I don't know if he'd do it, but maybe a Freddie Freeman. He has a super short, compact swing,
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman. Who else would I like?
I'll tell you this much: it'll definitely be something I'm gonna actually watch this season or this year, like really, really intently watch, because obviously Otani's gonna be there, and according to a lot of people, when he's taking BP before games, he's hitting fucking monsters, and with no pressure, BP fastballs coming through right where he wants them. I mean, it would definitely be interesting to see how far in the Colorado air he can fucking smack it.
Yeah, you think he'd win it?
I don't know, man. I don't think he's got enough. I don't want to say stamina for it, but I think somebody more like Vladdy. I think Vladdy, if he does it, I think Vladdy has a really good shot at freaking taking it. I think Ohtani goes within a couple rounds.
Matt Olson would be good too.
Matt Olson would be good, yeah.
He has a short swing that's really nice,
MLB, listen to us right now,
rookie?
MLB. We're the
That
ones telling
rookie,
you what's gonna happen.
Adolis Garcia has some light tower power too, man.
Oh yeah, I've seen him hit
He'd be
a
good for
couple
the
big
watch.
ones.
Yeah, so man, those would be some dudes. Yeah, those are some. I like seeing some of the younger blood coming in here. So yeah,
What
I would say
what?
like Adolis and
I gotta throw one of my other guys, one of my young
Winker
guys.
would be cool too, man. Winker's awesome.
I was gonna say Jared Wall should be awesome to be able to get that, to be able to go do the home
He
run
has
derby.
a little hitch in his swing though.
It'd be nice to see him fucking go cracking.
Yeah,
They're talking
yeah,
about
but
him.
it's kind of rare that they have two from one team though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They're
I
talking
think
about
it has
how
happened, but I don't think it's
they're
like
they're
consistent.
talking about
you know?
how he's an all-star snub, that he should have at least been
Ooh,
Walsh.
shut up!
I'm
Stop
not the
it.
one saying
Stop
it. Hey, dude, don't
Who's
make me
they
say
then?
it.
Give me, stop it.
Go to
They.
Bleacher Report.
Yeah,
Go to the
Yeah,
Bleacher
they-
Report.
yeah, yeah. They are saying that Mookie Betts is having a bad year and he's still the best player.
Who said
Yeah,
he's having a bad year? He may have a couple off days, but he's not having a bad year. I don't give a
He's
shit.
like 230. He's not even an all-star right now. He's not going to be an all-star this year.
Muncie's on there, but he's not gonna go.
He'll go because it's perfect. They love those kind of dudes because they could just put him as a reserve injured and get someone else in.
No,
Like that's the best. That's double dipping there because then you can use someone else and slide them in. Like, hey, you're still an all-star, and we get to get someone else in there. I think baseball always does that shit. Every single year they do that. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, you know what?
well,
Let's
okay.
get this dude in, and then he's an all-star, and then he goes on, he's not going to really play, but he's still an all-star, and we can get someone else in. That's smart, though.
It
I
is.
like it.
It is.
I think it's smart.
There is, since we're talking about all stars and lineups and stuff like that. As of right now, the starting lineups have been set. As of right now, obviously voting's still going on for a little bit longer. But in the American League, let me know if you cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Let me know if you hear a name for the American League at least that you're like, maybe not, right? The lineup
Okay.
as it's set right now, leading off, second baseman Marcus Semien for Toronto. Hitting second and DHing Shohei Ohtani. Hitting third at first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. In right field, hitting fourth, Aaron Judge. In fifth place, third baseman Jose Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
In sixth position, shortstop Xander Bogaerts. Number 7, left field Kyle Tucker. In the eighth position, Salvador Perez, one of my favorite guys. And number 9, center fielder Cedric Mullins for Baltimore. And then they have right now starting pitcher as of right now is Lance Lynn.
Tucker to me is the one that kind of stands out there. I know you're probably going to say Cedric Mullins because you just don't really know him, but I mean, he's having a good year, man. He's hitting 300, 315, I think I just saw.
I mean, all these guys are there for a reason.
He kind of flips back and forth between the leader and hits for the league. But Tucker, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to find him in some kind of leaderboard. Yeah, because look, Cedric Mullins he's flipping back and forth with Vladdy for total hits in the American League. So
hey, if they gave Cedric Mullins a freaking 96 diamond on MLB The Show, I think he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't see Tucker like in any of these leaderboards. Like the dude I would rather see there instead of a Tucker is his teammate Yuli Gurriel. He's been having a really good year, very good year. Hitting 319 with the 390 off base percentage and top 10 in RBIs with 48. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like a dude I'd like to see there. I get it that they have him in left field and they're kind of it's gotten tricky now because now they're doing it by like positions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not just saying, hey, name 3 outfielders. It's like, no, okay, Kyle Tucker is leading all the left fielders and Cedric Mullins is leading all the center fielders. And then, who's the right fielder? Oh, Aaron Judge is leading all the right field. That's why Aaron Judge is kind of like, Judge either, like he hasn't had that good of a year,
Yeah. But
Does that make sense?
if you just look at that one position, then okay.
Yeah.
But if you look
You're
at the
just like,
overall, there you go.
Right. There's just other more deserving outfielders. And I
Yeah.
think that's stupid, if you ask me. Because you need to put the 3 most deserving outfielders out there, not the fucking best left fielder, best center fielder, best right fielder, or top center Does that make sense?
I'm with you there. I'm 100% behind you on
That's
that
the
one
way
there,
they
Papa.
used to do it. You know,
That's how it should
like
still
it's
be
done.
done.
It feels like I feel like it's part of this. Damn, everybody gets a certificate of participation type of stuff.
Oh
that they're
God!
leaning
Don't
towards,
turn into that, MLB.
you
It's
know?
bad enough with the sticky stuff. Don't be the fucking
Right?
everybody gets a prize. Fucking
Yeah, I don't have a
league.
problem with Lance Lynn at pitcher. You know, I would say Tucker and Judge are the ones that stand out to me. Where you're like, we'll see. You know,
Yeah.
on the American League. All right, go for it. Do the NL.
NL at leadoff, it's center fielder Ronald Acuna Jr. Batting second, DH Juan Soto. Batting third, shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. Batting
Okay.
fourth, right fielder Nick Castellanos.
Right.
Batting fifth, first base as of right now, Max Muncy. At third base, batting sixth, Chris Bryant. Batting seventh, left fielder Jesse Winkler.
Winker.
Batting eighth, catcher Buster Posey. Batting ninth, second baseman Adam Frazier. And starting pitcher as of right now is Mr. fucking perfect himself, fucking Jacob DeGrom.
I don't see anything wrong with these picks.
Yeah,
these are
I really
what
like
there
the
should be.
NL lineup. Like I really like the
Yeah.
NL lineup.
Like these are the top dudes at those positions. I know probably the only one that you might not know is Adam Frazier, but damn, dude, that dude's been having a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Hell of a year. So, and he's definitely, I'm trying to think of like a better second baseman in the game right now. I can't think of a better one that's constantly playing second, you know?
Yeah.
So, I feel like they got it, like the fans or whatever, I think they're getting it right with this one for sure. Like, I have no quarrels with this one.
Right on.
Yeah.
I
sure.
really like I think the NL lineup, if it stays the way it is against the AL lineup, if it stays the way they are, I should say. I think it leans heavy on the National League, just on the lineup itself. Like obviously they're going to bring other guys in throughout the game and whatnot, but to start off that game, those first 3 innings, man, you guys are going to have a really solid squad going in.
Right. I would say the only flip maybe that I think someone's better, but I could see why they're giving to him just because he's having a better year, right? Or he's not having a better year. He's just having a resurgent year. Is Buster Posey over JT Realmuto. JT Realmuto is the best player, best catcher in baseball.
Well, he started
And,
off hurt, didn't he? Or he got hurt really early?
He did, but I mean, I saw his numbers the other day when he was playing with the Dodgers. He's double-digit home runs with the 290 batting average. You know, like plays stellar defense.
I mean, granted, this could still change. This is as of right now, as of today. This is what it looks like.
I had to pick one hole where I was like, take JT over Buster. You know,
I mean, Buster's still
on the tail
doing
end of his
well.
career.
Don't get me wrong. Buster's still doing well. He's still hitting home runs for me in fantasy, so I'm a happy camper.
All right.
But JT Realmuto, honestly, you can't not
just
go
think
that
he's
way.
a better dude.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, but I still don't have a problem with him being there. But just if I had to pick one,
Yeah. It's because he's a giant, isn't it?
right? I mean, that don't help either, you know.
The truth comes out. Before we get into the half or midway point MVP race and stuff like that, I did want to bring up something because our buddy Evan brought it up. The Yankees did pull off another triple play. Thanks to some bad base running by the Blue Jays, but a triple play is a triple play is a triple play. So they get one clap from me. All right, moving on, because nobody wants to talk about the Yankees.
Right.
The MVP
They're a
race,
train wreck, man.
they really are, man. They can't get out of their way. The only team I think is really like shooting themselves in the foot the worst is the Pirates. They find new ways to lose, which is crazy right now.
Man. You
Pirates-
saw that message I sent you too, right? Where they had that like 3 errors in one play.
In one play, yeah, that's just oh my
Yeah.
god, atrocious. But the MVP race is off to a hot start on both sides of the league. Right now in the American League, they're saying 2 names right now, and everybody else can fight for third. But it's Vladdy Jr. and Ohtani.
Yeah, for sure. And I honestly think it's a one-man dude right now too. I mean, as much as I like Otani, he's just
Vladdy.
more of how rare what Otani's doing, you know, as a pitcher and hitter. But Vladdy's clearly, despite that,
They're
Vladdy's still
even
clearly
saying
the
Vladdy
MVP.
might be the early favorite to actually win a triple crown, and we haven't had one since Miguel
I agree.
Cabrera.
Yeah, I agree. I
110%. I'm on board with that, dude. I think
Yeah.
if this guy wins a triple crown, there's no way you don't give him the MVP. Even though what
Oh.
Otani's doing right now, I mean, unless something happens between now and the rest of the season, obviously, I think.
I just think it's more likely that Vladdy will keep up or close to the pace that he's at right now, as opposed to what Otani
Otani's
will
doing,
do.
yeah.
It's just too hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm cheering for him. I really am. I hope he does. Like, dude, it's fucking like I hope he comes on to the All-Star game and, puts on a show for the ages. Is it gonna happen? I don't know, but I'd still like to see it
Oh, yeah.
try. I'd love to see him pitch an inning and get in that bat.
I mean,
Honestly, I was actually thinking about this, believe it or not. I was thinking about this earlier. How cool would it be if the managers are smart, dude, which they are, right? How cool would it be to bring him up, like when the pitcher's about to come up to hit, and still bringing in the pinch hitter, maybe bring him in to hit and then leave him in to pitch, or vice versa, where they bring him in strategically to pitch, and then they just leave him in to hit, and then they take him out for pitching next time around.
that'd be
know what I'm
dope,
saying?
man. I mean, it'd be great to see the American League guy, the manager, do that kind of a National League double switch kind of thing, or even just bring
Right.
him in and then let him pitch. That's fine.
Right.
It'd be
So-
dope to see it. It'd be really. I think if he hits well and they do that and he pitches well, I think he could be All-Star MVP at that point.
Right. He's
If
on probably only
if
gonna get
ifs
one
and
at bat,
buts,
though.
if ifs and buts were coconuts, right? I mean,
Right.
honestly,
So here's the other catch, though. I know it says DH on here, but they're playing in the National League, and the Dodgers won the World Series, so there should probably not be a DH in the All-Star game this year,
there's
right?
still going to be a DH. Yeah, the American
There
League,
is?
the American League comes in with their rules, and the National League comes in with their rules, and that's how they play.
I don't get it. So it's going to be the National League has to hit their pitcher, but the American League doesn't?
Correct.
That don't make sense. I don't think that's right.
I mean, I don't think it's right either, but there is no DH for. I mean, granted, if Jacob deGrom hits for himself, it's going to be fine. But it's everybody else that we have to worry about. But as far as I know, there's no DH for the National League, but there is on the American side
In the same game?
in the same game.
No. That's not going to happen. It's either two DHs or no DHs. It's not going to be one or the other.
Okay, what would you
There's no
rather?
way.
What would you rather see? No DHs or
I'd rather see the no DHs, and only because I like the strategy in the baseball, and because it gives Shohei a chance to actually play. Do both, because he's not going to play, dude. He's not going to hit if there's a DH.
let
I'll
me?
tell you that right now.
We're
He's
going
not
to
gonna
come
hit.
back to that right in a minute, okay? But I do want to get into the National League MVP race right now, which is a three-man horse with the three other guys coming up right behind them. Right now we got Max Muncy, Tatis Jr., and Nick Castellanos, top three right now for the National League MVP, with Chris Bryant, Acuna Jr., and Trey Turner coming in the next little group behind them.
Okay, so I don't think that's the top three, in my opinion.
This is coming from ESPN. I went on ESPN to look and see what the consensus is, and they had a list. They said for the American League, it's Otani, Vladdy Jr., and then everybody else can bother with third place. For the National League, they said Tatis, Muncy, and Castellanos, with Brian Acuna and Trey Turner coming in right after them.
Okay, so see, look. So if you want to hear my list, I'll give you my list.
Give
okay?
me.
My list is Ronald Acuna, okay, Jacob deGrom, and probably Chris Bryant, to be honest. I mean, I don't know about Max Muncy, man. I guess. See, I mean, I'm a big Dodgers fan. Same thing with Tatis. Tatis has missed a lot of games. He's on third place. That's why Acuna's numbers are so stupid that you cannot not notice them. That's why I think like Tatis is. I really think right now, if I had to pick one dude, it's gotta be deGrom. I think deGrom is.
I don't
team's
understand.
in first place.
Yeah, I don't understand
And
how
his
he's not.
team and his numbers are stupid good. They're not good. They're stupid good.
He's
And
hit.
that's when the right fucking recipe for success happens. The perfect storm.
Didn't they say
You know what I'm
that
saying?
he's
When
hit?
Verlander one day, huh?
Didn't they say
Sorry.
he's actually hit more runs in than he's given up?
Right.
Pitching?
He's given up 3 runs this year, and he's drove in 5. You know.
I thought it was 6.
So, anyways,
It's one of the two, but still,
more,
yeah.
right?
The point is he's driven in more runs than he's allowed.
And like when Kershaw won the MVP, when Verlander won the MVP, like when Pedro Martinez was supposed to win the MVP and then they gave it Pudge. I mean, the one factor that they all had was they had stupid good years and their team came in first place. You know what I'm saying? His team's in first place and he's having a stupid good year. He needs to be top 3. In fact, he would probably be if they had to end right now, he'd be my front runner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe Chris Bryant right behind him. But look, Tatis and Muncy aren't even in first place, So like Tatis in third, Dodgers in second, Acuna's in third, Trey Turner's in fourth. So I'm like, dude, really? Like that's who you think's gonna win them? I don't see that. Like the top teams are the Mets, Cubs, and Giants. I mean, granted, the Giants are only up 2.5 on the Dodgers, and Milwaukee's only 0.5 behind the Cubs. But nobody's doing anything stupid. Well, I guess the pitchers over there are doing really well for Milwaukee, but stupid good. Again, I'm starting to think of like who is doing stupid good, and it's gotta be DeGrom, man. I don't understand how he's not in this conversation talk for the NL MVP.
I'm with you, dude.
Would anybody disagree if he was like not the Cy Young favorite? No, right?
No, absolutely.
Like it's nobody would even think of it. It's like the Vladdy thing. Like who's even in second? Like I'm sure there's some good dudes out there, which there are. I could think of some like Corbin Burns doing really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Lights out. Zach Wheeler doing really, really, really good. Lights out too. But they're not doing what DeGrom's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. What? When I wrote it out, I just kind of read what they were saying and I just kind of typed it out and put it on the board, right? But you're right. There's no reason that DeGrom shouldn't be in this conversation. And I was going to save the Cy Young stuff until next week because I did want to ask you a couple questions about that before we got into that conversation. So that way it kind of gives the listeners a chance to kind of think about it as well, as it gives us some time to think about, how that's going. And here's the question for you, Artie. Will the Cy Young be, quote-unquote, tainted this year because of the whole sticky stuff scandal? And more importantly, are the no-nos that have been thrown this year kind of now looked upon like, wait a minute, because we were on a crazy record pace to throw like 30 no-nos by the end of the year, and it's gotten really quiet all of a sudden.
Right.
They had I think the Reds pitcher the other night went into the 8th inning before he got his lost. But other than that, it's, all of a sudden, it's crickets.
Yeah. Right.
It looks like the record of 7 is going to stay intact. So that's my question for you, Artie. Before we, like I said, next week we'll get into the whole who deserves a Cy Young and stuff like that. We obviously know DeGrom is going to be in the conversation, but do you think, and you guys at home think about this, but do you think, Artie, that the Cy Young Award, whoever wins it this year, maybe not necessarily tainted, but it might have a little people kind of scratching their heads as far as like, were they using stuff? Did they not get caught using stuff? Like, what's going on there? And more importantly, the no-nos that were thrown this year, the 6 so far, and the 6.5, I guess, that were thrown this year, are those kind of looked back upon and go, well, were they using or were they not using? What else did they do the rest of the year? What do you think, Artie?
So I think the Cy Youngs will not be tainted. I think they're not going to be questioned because it's going to be dudes who we thought were going to win it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be some dude that we're like, what the hell? Where'd that be? It's not going to be a Ricky Porcello who has like a crazy year and wins it, the Cy Young. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you do realize Ricky Porcello won a Cy Young for the Red Sox?
Yes.
Okay, and he like never did really anything else. I believe he's out of baseball right now too. That's a
it does happen.
You know what I'm saying? So that would be like a question mark, right? But I also think that the no-nos are going to be questioned because of the dudes that threw the no-nos. It is a lot of
no-name guys.
You know what I'm saying?
The only
without
big
really
name?
thinking hard, right? Like we have 7, right? That 6.5, right? 6.5 that won it.
Hold
I
on.
can name 2 right off the bat, right?
Real quick,
like
hold on.
Kluber
Time out.
And Madison Bumgarner.
Time out. Ohtani just hit home run number 21. 2 home runs in today's game.
Nice.
Okay, keep
So that
going.
means he's still in second, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Okay.
Tied for second now. What's up?
Tied for second. Well, I don't know with who because there's 2 dudes in tied for first.
Oh no, that's right.
So
he's still in second. Technically, it would be third?
Third.
'Cause- yeah, so he's still in
He's second
third.
American League, third overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you think about it, without thinking too hard, can you name the 7 dudes that threw the no hitters? Right, like it'd be Kluber and Madison Bumgarner, 2 legit dudes, right,
Right.
throughout their career.
Yeah.
And the rest of the dudes are not legit dudes. You know, I can't name them all. I mean, I think you gave it to me last week or the last time we were on
Rodon's
here.
one of them.
Same thing. He hasn't been legit all
Right.
his career.
All of a sudden.
Wade Miley.
Yeah.
John Means.
That's right.
Geez, I'm out. That's it. I'm out.
That's all I get.
Wade
Yeah,
Miley, John Means.
they're not memorable names that like you. It's not a Verlander throwing another fucking no hitter.
Right.
It's not
Yeah,
fucking
it's
DeGrom
not.
throwing a no hitter. It's
Right.
these no name
Who
guys.
has to throw no hitter.
So
you know?
you're saying that the no nos up until this point are gonna be suspect then?
I think, you know, like when it's a dude, because it's not just one dude. We're talking about 5 dudes that really have never been very relevant before. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 of the dudes, because remember 6.5, right?
Right.
Of no-nos, 2 of the dudes that have been relevant in the past, Madison Bumgarner and Corey Kluber, right?
Yeah.
Like Madison's never won a Cy Young, but he's won a couple championships and been like a big horse
guy,
in the
yeah.
playoffs, right? But I mean, so he's a dude, right? But the other guys, again, man, man, do you over under, Brent? I don't even know who they are. Do you think any of the other dudes have ever won more than 12 games in a season?
We're gonna get into my dad's favorite segment, over unders. I gotta say it every time. I think maybe one of them.
Maybe one.
Statistically
1 out of 5?
speaking, 1 out of 5 I think has been over 12 wins in a season.
Okay. All right. I'm still gonna say no. I don't think any of those dudes have ever been over 12. I don't know who they are. Like I said, Wade Miley, John
think
Means
that-
are
and
the only
that's who-
2.
That's the only one that I think would be Wade Miley.
I think Wade, but I think Wade's at 12. I don't think he's over. That's the thing.
Well,
Let's find out. I'll look it up. Who are the dudes that got the no hitters?
It was
this year?
Means. It was a means to an end. Schnikes, man. I'd have to jump in on the what are they called? Our rundowns from the past.
I just Google it, see who they are.
Oh yeah, no hitters.
Wade Miley had 16 wins one time.
Ah, there you go.
Wow.
I win.
All right.
You can't say anything else. I
And
win.
he had 14.
There you go.
He's been around. Is this right? Yeah, he's been around. This.
That's what I was saying. I think the only one I would
Yeah.
say Wade Miley.
Okay, yeah. So he had 14 with that Houston one year. He had 16 with Arizona, and he's with Cincy now. So yeah. Okay, well there you go. You won that one.
Yes.
I was gonna say no, but
I win one. Every once in a while, the clock strikes.
okay. Now try name the no hitters.
Okay, it was Means, Rodon, Miley. Did we count Bumgarner? The 0.5?
No, it is a 0.5.
Okay, that's all I got off the top of my head, man. I got, 3? 4.5?
Okay. So it was Means, Miley, Kluber,
Kluber. We just talked
Madison.
about him. Fuck.
Madison,
Uh-huh. Rodon.
Rodon, Spencer Turnbull. Who was the last dude? Who is the last dude here, Brent?
Oh, no, you at
Oh,
home.
and John Musgrove. John
Mm.
Musgrove. There you go.
That's right. They made him a special fucking card on MLB The Show.
Yeah. John Musgrove. There you go. So we got those are our guys.
Right on.
Yeah. Maybe Musgrove might have got 12 wins before. I don't know if he was over, but
Well, I knew my gut was telling me Wade Miley, and I'm gonna just go with my gut on that one. But Musgrove, I don't remember off the top of my head hearing that much about him. But we'll have to wait and look it up and stuff. Sorry, woo, the bubblies are coming up on me. Anything else in baseball, man?
I can think of. Nothing too interesting. Not that I can think of. I don't know. Yeah. Trade deadline's coming up, a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to be sellers and buyers?
I hope
Talk
the
about
Angels
the
are buying.
A's being buyers.
I hope the Angels are buying pitching.
Okay. Who are contenders and pretenders? Who are dudes that you think are going to be contenders and
Well,
pretenders?
one of the names that I keep seeing getting thrown out is Max Scherzer. That the Nationals
Okay.
are pretenders, and they're going to be selling to get some money off the books.
Okay, I can see that. Let's see
Uh,
here. Okay, so all right, how about this? We'll go do this because I love this because we're approaching the halfway point, right?
Right.
All right, teams are in first place, right? Who's most likely to stay there and who's most likely to leave, right?
Okay, let's go. What you
Teams are in first place. Tampa Bay of the three. Tampa Bay, Chi Sox, and Oakland. Of the three, who's most likely to not be in first place at the end of the season?
got? Who's not likely to be in first place at the end of the season?
Mhm.
I think the White Sox. They like to shoot themselves in the foot. I think they'll still be in the playoffs, but I think the White Sox like to shoot themselves in the foot.
Okay, I'm gonna say Tampa because they gave away
They're pitching.
one of their best pitcher, and then their other best pitcher just got hurt.
Okay.
So I think that was an easy gimme for me. I thought you were gonna say it, but I was like, all right,
I was thinking about that, but the
Glass
White Sox do like to shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, they do, but they're a really good team this year, and that's who I had winning it all this year, right?
This is true.
Yeah, or going at least to the World Series.
To the World Series.
With my Dodgers. So, but I see Oakland being there, and they're always there. And the White Sox for sure. All right, and the NL side, we got the Mets, the Cubs, and the Giants.
The Giants aren't going to be there at the end of the season.
Right.
Giants are definitely not. The Dodgers are going to get hot when they get hot in the late summer, and that's going to be that for
Yeah.
that one. I mean,
That's gonna be a wrap somewhere.
let's
Yeah, okay.
let's just get that one out of the way.
Okay, now the second place teams. What second place team do you really see like catching fire in the second half?
Okay.
Maybe even a third place team. Who comes out and like surprises and either makes the playoffs or wins the division. And I'm gonna give you the top, like the second and third place teams from each division.
Okay.
Right? We got Boston and New York, Cleveland and Kansas City, Houston and Seattle.
I like Boston. I think Boston's going to be competing right there. They may chip away definitely at the Rays. Where the hell are the Blue Jays at?
They're 9-game back.
Holy
9 games
shit!
back.
I thought
That's
the Blue
why, like,
Jays.
it's kind of hard even with Vladdy, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, he's in Vladdy territory with dude. They have a worse record than the Angels. The Angels have one more win than them.
Hey, I'll take it. We got one more win
Yeah,
than
I
somebody. I think Boston takes over.
That makes me change my mind about Shohei. I think that race is closer than I thought. I thought they were in second, dude. They're in fourth place, man.
There you go.
But I'll tell you what. I think if someone comes back from fourth place and makes it a
The Blue
division,
Jays have a shot at it.
it's a Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Because it's the fourth place teams. We got the Blue Jays, Detroit, and the Angels.
Blue Jays. I mean, hey, I love my Angels, but if you got to give me those three, Blue Jays, I feel have a better team.
Okay, I agree.
Especially with Trout being out so long.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on both things, Dean. I think the Mets kind of make a. I'm sorry, the Mets, the Boston, the Red Sox, they
Yeah.
make a run, especially with now their pitching going down with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So I think Tampa slips out there, and I think Boston definitely takes it. Kind of like Cleveland making a run in there, but man, the White Sox are just so good. And like I said, I think if somebody makes a big jump and gets into the playoffs, and they're sitting out of the playoffs right now, it's definitely them. Because yeah, look, we're looking at it right now. Teams are in the playoffs and teams are out of the playoffs. Is this right? 2 wild cards? Wait, this can't be right.
Yeah, there's 2 wild cards.
Confused. There's 3 and then 2, and that's it. They're not doing 4 like last year?
No, they brought it back to normal.
Oh, okay. So right now it would be in the playoffs would be Oakland, Tampa Bay, White Sox, Boston, and Houston. So then Boston and Houston, who's out? Of the
Houston.
playoffs?
I think Houston is.
Yeah. I'm praying for Houston to be out.
Me too.
And games back. The Angels are 7 games back of a playoff spot or wild card at least. Seattle 7, Yankees, Cleveland. I think Cleveland's in, man. I think Cleveland gets in. Man, Toronto would have to make a run, bro. Jeez, to make the playoffs. But I think if anybody makes it, then
I mean,
Um,
I'm going to throw my optimistic hat in the ring, but the Angels have gotten a little bit hotter over the last, couple weeks, and Mike Trout's not even playing right now. He comes back and he's healthy and
I
doing
think that's
things
a good thing that he's not playing.
because they're learning to win without him.
All right, that's why.
Oh, absolutely, I'm
They're
with
so
you.
dependent on him.
Yes.
It's like, yeah,
Oh,
Mike Trout
yeah.
hits a home run, but we lost.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I am okay with that statement. It has my seal of approval, a la chingada. But I honestly think that if they continue doing what they're doing, and Mike Trout comes back and he gets healthy and he gets on a roll really quick, I think they have an opportunity to get a wild card spot. I didn't say win, but I think they have an opportunity to get a wild card spot, especially with the way Otani's been hitting.
Tell you
And
what,
lost.
the Angels make a move and get one more pitcher, man.
Ooh,
I'm there, like a starting pitcher.
Ooh,
Let me
I know.
rephrase that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. A
That
starting
Hunter
motherfucker.
Strickland thing didn't work out. You
Oh,
know?
Jesus Christ. He was here for like 3 weeks and gave up like 42 runs and shit. Hadn't give 42 he hadn't given up 42 runs in his whole career. Showed up to the Angels for 2 weeks. 42 runs. His ERA went from his
the
ERA
ball flies out here in SoCal.
his ERA went from like 198 to 1242. Like, come on, bro. In 2 weeks?
Right. It's funny. Dude, look, I'm looking at Bauer. He's 7-5 with a 2.445 ERA, bro. Strikeouts are 119 and 32 walks. Jeez, got under a 1 whip. Relax, people, relax.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. All right. So let's finish this last one, then we'll take a little break so we could hear a word from our sponsors.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
So we got the Mets, Cubs, and San Fran. We said San Fran not there. So let's talk about second, third place teams that could sneak in and take that top spot. So we got Philly and Atlanta. Philly's 4 games back. Atlanta's 5.5. We got Milwaukee and Cincinnati. That's a close division, bro. That whole division is tight in the Central.
Yeah.
The top 4 teams are only separated by 4 games, dude.
Jesus.
4 games. Milwaukee's half a game back. Cincinnati's 2.5. St. Louis is 4 games back. And then we got the West. And the top is basically a 3-horse team on that one. It's the Giants, Dodgers, and San Diego. Dodgers are 2.5. San Diego is 6 games back. So who sneaks in and takes that division? Their division.
I think the Dodgers.
Man, I think
the Dodgers take the division, but I do think the way the Giants have been playing, I think they end up taking that wild card spot, and San Diego misses. Unless San Diego gets the second wild card spot, which I don't see that happening with the Central looking the way it does. I honestly think San Diego has a bad season and they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. So right now, see, this is what I don't understand. Maybe because 2 teams are the 2 teams are tied. I'm like, okay. So right now they would have like the Dodgers and Milwaukee and San Diego. They'd have to play like a playing game, I guess, between them 2. But they'd have the Dodgers, Milwaukee, and San Diego in the wild card.
I like
sense?
Milwaukee, man. Milwaukee's a scrappy little fucker.
They could pitch, man. They got pitching galore over there, dude. They're gonna be dangerous, but they just don't have enough hitting. And Yelich hasn't been that dude anymore.
He's starting to heat up, but he has not been Yelich that people expect to be.
Yeah. So they just need more hitting, man. They need more hitting. I don't think they have enough hitting content. They have the pitching content, but they don't have the hitting. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Well, obviously I just think the Dodgers haven't been playing like themselves. I think it seems like they start to get on track and then someone else gets hurt, like a big name gets hurt, you know?
Yeah.
And then, right now it's Muncy and Bellinger. We just got Bellinger back and he's back hurt again. Now we got Muncy that's hurt. And then we had, but that's also a good thing. Like, I don't think we have a single dude hitting 300 this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, we don't have a single dude hitting 300. We don't have a dude that has like above 15 home runs. Muncy's probably the closest we have, but we do have a high on-base percentage as a team. Yeah. That is like, I think we lead the majors in on-base percentage, is what I was seeing. I mean, I don't see how San Francisco keeps up this pace that they're at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Central, man, like, how do you... Dude, that's like musical chairs over there that they're playing, dude. St. Louis always seems to be in the hunt. Cincy's always hot, too. It's funny because Cincy's got the bats, And St. Louis usually has the pitching, but I think it's the relievers that are really doing the job over there in St. Louis because their starters haven't been very well. And I think Atlanta, something's wrong with Atlanta too, man. I feel like they have like the postseason jitters or something like that, where the way they lost and stuff, because they're better than what they are. And I think Philly has a shot at overthrowing the Mets. You know, they have a very good team and lineup. You know, they have some good pitching and they have very good hitting. The Mets have both as well too, but with the Grom going down, if they don't have the Grom throwing every 5 days, you know,
the
kinda
Mets
hard.
definitely start falling apart if the Grom's not
Right.
playing.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, but I do think the Dodgers are the ones that overthrow their division.
I think so too.
Musical
But I
chairs in
do
the
think
Central.
the Giants stay right there. I
Mhm.
can't say they're not. They've been playing well. I mean, obviously they're in first place. They've been playing well, and
They have the best record in the NL.
they're holy shit, really?
Yeah, they're 44-25.
Damn. Well, there you go. I think they stay in the mix
That's-
though. I think the Dodgers get
Yes.
hot. The hitters start hitting. The pitchers start pitching, and they get hot, and they right down the stretch because the Dodgers always like to get hot in August and September, right when you need to be. That's when the Dodgers start fucking heating up. So I'll give you that. But let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Let's let the sponsors say their words, and then we'll be right back, guys. So sit back, enjoy these words from our sponsors, and hopefully you get something good and not something terrible. But we'll be right back, guys. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes or a couple seconds.
Hey, up front.
All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed whatever commercials you just got. We are back. We're having a good time. Second half of the show. Sorry, second half of the show. It's gonna be a little shorter than the first half of the show, so don't worry. Sit tight, relax. We'll get you out of here soon. Unless you really want to hang out with us, and well, then just call us at that point so we can hang out and have a good time. Freaking A. Let's just jump into it, huh, compa?
Do it.
Real quick, we don't really talk about this very often. Let me open a drink for them. The men's U.S. national team, for the first time ever, beat Mexico, the Mexican national team, to win the Gold Cup, the Copa de Oro. Congratulations to the men's national team for finally winning the Copa de Oro. Cheers, cheers, cheers to them. Congratulations, guys. Not only is it the first time they win the Copa de Oro, the Gold Cup, it's the first time they beat Mexico in the championship game, because they've gone to the championship game a few times to play against Mexico. Mexico has always beaten them, so this is their first time actually beating Mexico. So congratulations to them. Right?
Congratulations.
In the NFL, we have a few things that have been going on. The new Madden 22 cover has been announced. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes will don the cover together. Artie, here's your other question of the night, Mr. My little stump the chump. Who were the last two players to don the cover together? It's a two-part question. Okay, so who are the last two players to don the cover together? Go ahead.
No idea.
No, it was Fitzgerald, and it was Troy Polamalu.
Oh shit! No. Got him.
Okay, and here's another one for you, and this one I think it'd be better for everybody sitting at home. But what team has had more Madden cover players than playoff wins over the last 60 years?
What team has had the most?
What NFL team has had more Madden cover players? So the guys that are on the cover, which team has had more Madden cover players than they have had wins in the last 60 years?
More wins in total? 60 years?
More playoff wins over the last 60 years.
Playoff
Yeah.
wins. I like
More playoff wins over the play. Listen, compa.
All
Last
right,
playoff
okay.
wins than they do Madden cover.
The Cowboys?
That's a fucking. I'll punch you in the head for that shit, bro.
I'm gonna say something like the Detroit Lions.
Holy shit! Holy shit! You got it right, you son of a bitch. It was the Detroit Lions. The Detroit
Actually, I
Lions
was gonna say,
have
they
had.
gotta have like Barry Sanders, Megatron, Stafford, maybe.
No, it was that was the two. They've only
Oh,
had
okay.
two,
And
which
yeah, and I
makes
was
it
thinking,
which
I
makes
thought
it
I remember
even
them having a lot of wins.
it makes it even sadder that it's only two players that they've had on the Madden covers, whereas playoff wins they haven't had two in the last 60 years.
That sounds about right. Because I was thinking, I'm like, man, who's had some good players that I haven't seen win many playoff games? And I'm like, I think it's the Lions. That was all that was coming to mind. I was like,
Did you hear Calvin Johnson said something about Brad? Not it wasn't Bradford. It was Stafford, because he got traded to the L.A. Rams. Did you hear what he said?
no, what do you say?
He said, "I want to congratulate my buddy Matthew Stafford on getting that trade." He's like, "I wish they would have traded me when I asked them to. Maybe I'd still be playing, or maybe I would have won one."
Oh, did you hear what Kyler Murray said when they asked him about why he didn't grow up a Cowboys fan, even though he's from Texas?
No, I did actually. I was gonna read that, and I didn't get a chance to. What do you say?
Long story short, he said because they were ass, man.
When were they asked? I mean, he grew up during the 2010s.
During the Tony Romo era.
That's a fucking lie, bro. They were.
That's what he said. I swear.
elite.
I didn't even know what I was reading. I thought it was. I really
Thought
didn't
it was
know
like
what I
from the
was
Onion or
reading,
some
right?
shit.
And it was something on Yahoo Sports. It says something about the Cowboys, right? And I'm like, oh, maybe there's something good that I could share with Brent, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing much. It was other than like Dak saying, "Oh, Ezekiel had a bad year last year, and it was my fault because I was hurt, and teams were able to target in on him, and I already forgot about my knee injury, and blah, 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 blah,
Blah, blah,
all the
blah,
stuff
blah.
that you want them to say, right?"
Right.
And then towards the bottom, it said that they had an interview. I was skimming through it real quick, and then it said something like Kyler Murray was at, "Dude, how do you not grow up a Cowboys fan, even though you're from Texas and blah, blah, blah," right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Man, because they were ass when I was growing up."
That's so terrible.
I was
dude.
like,
That's so terrible.
I was like, were they that bad in the 2010s?
In the
I don't
10s,
know.
they
I
weren't
wouldn't-
great. I'll tell you that much.
The 10s? I mean, in the 20s is when they've been breaking everybody's hearts, right?
Even more, man. But that's what I'm talking
No?
about. The 2010s.
No. In the 20. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, you're
The
right. you're right. That's when
2000s or
they're
the
breaking-
2010s?
Yeah. No, you're right. I had them confused. But the 2010s is when they were breaking everybody's hearts, and the 2000s is when they sucked balls, right?
Yeah, because the 2000 is they were just coming off the 3 Super Bowl victories. They had the team was getting split apart, and then it was
I don't
just
know. Did they win one in like 96?
95 was the last one.
Bro, that's 5 years.
When they talk
2000,
about
just
about the teams of the decades, the Cowboys are the 90s team, the Niners are the 80s team, the Cowboys are again in the 70s, and then the 2000. Everybody else, nobody. I don't care about everybody else.
The 90s, really?
Yeah, because they won 2 in a row, and then they lost. They went back to the championship game and lost against the Niners. They came back and got Deion Sanders and won 95.
So they won 3 in the 10-year span. Okay, I guess I could see that.
And that's what that's the word around the scuttlebutt. At least that's how I'm going to throw it out there like that. What's going on with since we're in the NFL right now, technically, what's going on with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, man?
Man, I just saw that their GM's just kind of talking smack and said like, he's a different cat, blah blah blah. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. Like, are they gonna trade him or what? I do see that Brady pokes fun of him because they're doing that like the pro player and NFL player like golf tournament thing, or whatever. And bro, Brady throws some like below the belt type of shots at fucking Rodgers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, dude, it's they're funny though, and Rodgers, well, I'm like, I would think eventually be like, hey, bro, cut that shit out, bro. It's too much, right? Like, but he throws some below the belt kind of shots. They're funny if you ask me. Hey, I was seeing. What do you think about this? A little conspiracy theory, right?
Okay.
I was thinking somewhere, what if if Deshaun Watson, that it's just a made up lie about what's going on with those girls as a means to try to get him out of Houston, like get him traded, because none of them have been like convicted or gone to trial or stuff like that. That's what I was
Right.
saying.
A lot of them have gotten dropped for one
Right.
reason or another.
What if it's just a big smoke and
Conspiracy?
mirrors to get him out of there? Smoke and mirrors to get him out of there.
Mm.
Because you know he wants out. You
Yeah.
know? Any
You think
thoughts on
maybe
that?
you think maybe his camp is the one doing it, and then they're like, all right, then you're gonna say,
And the girls are like, look, you're gonna go in there and say this and this. I don't know, man. I don't know. What
and
do you
then you're
think?
gonna be like,
What do you
fuck
think?
it. I don't know. It sounds plausible. He's
It
trying to get
is,
him. He's
yeah.
trying to get himself out of there one way or another.
And they're like, nah, we want him. We're gonna
Like,
keep
oh no,
him.
we're good. We'll bail him out and everything. Like we're
Yeah,
good there. We're in Texas, brother. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, those girls are lying. I don't believe none of them.
Not say
yeah, man,
not
I
not
read
to
that.
say. Hold on, disclaimer. Not to say that women who've been abused and stuff like that they're lying
Right.
or anything like that. We're just making fun of a situation that's happening right now.
Conspiracy.
I got
Yes,
we got to just kind of
possible.
put that out there right now before anybody gets upset or anybody says some things or they try and cancel us. First off, you can't cancel us because we love what we're doing and we're hanging out basically half the time. So it's the same shit we're gonna do with or without the mic. So we just have to have a mic in front of us. But
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think.
if it came out in
It's
20,
pretty far out there. It's one
if
of
it-
those. It's
if
pretty,
it- if it
it
came-
was like it was like 2 or 3, maybe, but so many. I
If
say
it-
no.
if it came out 20 years from now, like, yeah, dude, I was trying to do that to get out of my contract and get traded or whatever. I'm like, we talked about that.
But see, for me, I think like, dude, once we got past like 5, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're really having to pay off a lot of girls. I don't believe it. Not past 5. It was like 2 or 3. Oh, okay, maybe.
maybe roll the dice,
Maybe.
throw a maybe out there. I know we were
But,
talking
yeah.
about Aaron Rodgers. Did you notice that after the GM or the president, whoever it was, that came out and said that he wore a shirt that said "I'm complicated"?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Hey, he's digging deep, man. Okay, let me ask you a question here. Do you think Aaron? I mean, he already missed mandatory OTAs. Do you think Rodgers is going to be playing come opening
Yeah,
day
he'll play. He'll play
for the Packers?
He'll play. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Do you think he's playing for the Packers opening night?
I do. I do think he'll play for the Packers.
You think he goes out there with his head held high and go, "Hey, I'm a professional. I'm gonna do what I was paid to do, but I'm not happy about it."
No, I think he's gonna go out there and be like, I'm gonna make as many audible calls as I want.
Just fucking run the team the way he wants.
I think so, man. I feel like that's what he's doing, anyways. You know what I'm saying? He strikes me as a prima donna, no? Like, when have you seen Tom Brady have these issues or Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that? You know?
True. I mean, I still think that he's upset because he hasn't gotten, that first round talent that he's been looking for the whole time he's been there. But you can only, look at what he's done with what he's gotten, and it can go either way, man. Fuck it. What else we got going on in the rest of the world? NBA is going on right now. The NBA
NBA's
playoffs.
been really good, man. The playoffs.
Yeah.
LeBron and Lakers are out of the playoffs. First
Yeah.
time in LeBron's career that he's been eliminated in the first round. They never looked healthy this year from the beginning, and LeBron was saying like, "Hey, the off season was too short." He's all, "This is not right. Players are gonna get hurt." He was saying that from the get go. And you know what? He might be onto something because 8 or 9, I forgot what the number was. 9 All-Stars have missed at least one playoff game this year, like where they were in the playoffs and they missed a playoff game because their bodies just couldn't recover enough or weren't held up properly or didn't have enough rest time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay. And he was talking about how like he's like, if somebody knows this, it's me, because I've been like trying to keep my body healthy for the long run. That's why he's been playing for so many seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's really focused on that stuff, and I'm like, damn, dude. So I kind of be with him on that. What's crazy is I feel like maybe the torch has been passed a little bit this year. None of like the big time teams are in the playoffs this year. Like it's gonna be someone that's never won a title before that wins a championship this year, I believe. So the teams that are still alive are the Bucks, the Nets, the Sixers, Hawks, Suns, and probably the Jazz, because I think the Jazz. No way.
What?
Wow, is that right? Wow.
What?
The Clippers came back and won, dude. The Clippers were chasing 32 at halftime.
Oh, no way.
I believe it was 32, and they came back and smacked too. They scored 131 and 119. I mean, that
Holy
is
shit.
an epic failure. So that means Clippers advanced to first Western Conference with Marco. Yeah, so it's their first time in the Western Conference title. So obviously, and that's like a big issue, right? So going into the Western Conference championship now, the Suns are without Chris Paul, who is in COVID protocol, and the Clippers are without Kawhi Leonard, who might be done for the playoffs with hamstring injury. I forgot what it was, but I forgot. But dude, I can't believe they came back. I just saw it right now. Wow, they were smacking. They were up 30. No, I'm sorry. They were up by 22 at halftime. 22, dude, at halftime. That's a lot of points. That means you got to make up 11 points at least each period from there on out.
Yeah.
Dude, and they came back and they won by 22. No, wait, no. 12. Yeah, they came back and won by 12. So that means they made up 34 points? Wow. 34-point flip. That's crazy. So now we have it. There you go. So the Western Conference final is set. It's the Suns versus the Jazz. And yeah, so those are all brand new teams. Teams that have never won a title. I think, you know what? I think the Sixers might have won one. But I think they might have been in the ABA back when they won one. I'm not sure if they ever won an NBA title. But if anybody won it, it might have been them.
Okay.
Because I know the Bucks have never won one. Because the Bucks won one when they were in the ABA. The Nets have never won one. The Hawks have never won one. And yeah, so we're gonna have a new champion for the first time this year. And they're all young cats too, for the most part. I think the Clippers might be like one of the older teams, you know?
Right on. Who do you think is gonna actually take it though? Like whatever's, because I know.
I'll tell you who I hope takes it, and then I'll tell you who I think is gonna take it.
Okay, who do you hope takes it?
I hope the Suns take it, man. I really would like to see Chris Paul get one because he's an older cat that's in the NBA. That's, you know, he likes to show people up when he knows he's got the game locked up already, you know.
Right.
So I don't like that part of him. But you know what? He's kind of deserving, bro. He's been good for the NBA, and I like his game, you know. So yeah, dude, he's a dude I'd like to see, you know.
Okay, and who do you think is gonna take it?
Ooh, I think it's really gonna be one of either the Bucks or the Nets, whoever wins that series, because they're going to Game 7, and I think whoever wins that series is gonna take it.
I do honestly. I like the Nets. I think Brooklyn looks pretty good. I know a lot of people were kind of bagging on them at the beginning of the season, but you know they look good. They look good.
Yeah, but the problem is Harden's been hurt, Kyrie's hurt too, so like it's basically Kevin Durant by himself out there with the Scrapas, you know.
Hey,
so
well, they've been doing something right.
Yeah, but they lost, you know, 2 out of the last 3, you know, without the other 2 big dogs, because he needs one of the other 2. He doesn't need both of them.
He just needs
with both of them. They dominate, right? But he needs one of the other 2 dudes, and I don't know if he's gonna get one. Harden's always like Harden reminds me of how Chris Paul was, where like he's always been hurt at the big times or doesn't show up for the big games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who do you think? Who do you think's close enough to come back to that Game 7? Do you think one of the big ones?
You know, I don't think either one's coming back for Game 7, but I haven't seen. I don't know how bad their injuries are. It says Irving ankle remains out for Game 7, so it's definitely not Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know what's going on with Harden. Harden, I don't know. Maybe he got fat again. Cause you know he was all chubby with Houston, and all of a sudden he went to Brooklyn and dropped a whole bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Like that's messed up. And then with Kyrie, I saw a meme the other day too that said that he left Cleveland because he wanted to be the number 1 guy, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he left Boston because he wanted to be the number 1 guy. So then they're like, oh, so you come to the Nets and you're the number 3 guy. How do you like them apples?
I think we talked about him I don't want to say a couple of shows ago, but we did talk about that. How he expects to be the number one guy, but he's not a number one guy.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not.
He's a 2 or 3. He's a support character. He's not the main.
Yeah, he's a 2 or 3 for sure. Two
Yeah.
or 3. He's not the guy. There's no way. He's never gonna win it being the guy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the NBA. That covers the NBA. Oh well, A-Rod. I don't know if we had talked about it, but I believe we had that A-Rod had purchased because he couldn't get any of the MLB teams, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going over there to the NBA," and he got the Minnesota. He's part of the partnerships, the ownership with Minnesota Timberwolves. But he did say that he does not plan on taking the Timberwolves out of Minnesota, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah. Was that an issue that people were thinking that when he bought the twins, the Timberwolves, that he was going to take him out of it?
But yeah, but they're always looking at big market cities, like always they're looking at big. But I'm like, man, they're not small, but they're not big either. You know what? Another big market team is the Mavs in Dallas, right? There's a lot of issues. My boy, Joe's a big Dallas Mavericks fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really optimistic about Dominic Doncic, not Doncic. I forgot his name right now. Doncic. How do you say his name? The dude from Dallas right now. I'm drawing such a blank right now. But what happened is basically the head coach stepped down, the GM steps down, Porzingis is not happy. And they're trying to sign a max contract for their dude, who I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. So that's not looking good. Oh, Luka Doncic. There you go, Luka
Doncic.
Yeah, so they're trying to sign him to a max contract, and now all of a sudden it goes whether he will sign or not that max contract this summer. So I don't know, man, but I feel like everything ended really badly and just went from bad to worse.
Yeah.
For the Mavericks. And I know Joe is now starting to get nervous. Before he's like, nah, we're fine. We're gonna give him. We're the only ones that can give him this money. We're the only ones that can give him that money. And it's like, wait, Porzingis isn't happy. That was step one, right? They're like, oh wait, GM stepping down. Wait, now the head coach is gone. Damn. What? Why? Ugh.
I was like, what can we do?
That's
What's happening?
Yeah, that's trouble in paradise right there, bro. So I don't know. I still think Luka does sign because he is well loved over there, and it is a pretty good market. And I just think he's gonna have an input on like the head coach now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, at that point, if you're gonna go ahead and lock him down, you have to allow him to have a little bit of input if he's gonna be your guy.
Well, too, if he's signing the max contract, he's got that leverage now of saying, oh, okay, well, let me see who the head coach is first, and then I'll decide. Yeah,
true that.
You know what I'm saying?
The leverage is all on his side.
Yeah. Hey, did you see with that soccer player, Christian Eriksen, I think?
No.
That he collapsed on the field, dude?
No.
Dude, he just like Manny Pacquiao on the field, like out of nowhere.
What happened?
He just had a seizure. He just collapsed on the field, like dude. And they literally ended the match and replayed another day. And they even had because I think he was wearing number 10, but they had like a 10-minute silence and stuff like that for him. Like, dude, it was crazy. It was scary, bro. It was scary because he was just laying on the floor, and his teammates are like, "Hey," and they're trying to like help him and stuff like that. And they're like waving for medics and stuff like that to come over and get him, dude. Like, man, dude, it was scary, bro. It was scary.
When was this?
Ooh, it was this past week. I just don't know what day.
Oh man,
This past week.
Is it the UEFA League in Europe or what?
Yeah, I was in Europe, but I don't know what their leagues are, to be honest.
Well, I mean, shit. Hopefully, it's not nothing serious, and they were able to rectify the situation and take care of him.
Yep. All right, we're coming close to a close here, right?
Yeah, I think we got that's everything on the list. Or you got something?
In honor, I got something for you. A little curveball, okay? I just want to get your opinion, just because we pretty much finalized our fantasy football date over here that we're gonna be having a little bash at my house, right?
Right, we are on 21st.
Okay. Yep, you got the number 5 pick, 6 picks right in front of me. I'm at the 7, which I hate. I would love to trade down to the number 9. If possible. But let's say you had one of the top 3 picks. Okay. Give me who goes 1, 2, 3 this year in the fantasy football draft.
Do you have a first top 3 pick and somebody else, or do you not even know that yet? Or are you just devil's advocate?
I don't. Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I want to say, fucking the running back for what's his name? He blew it up last year before he got hurt, and he blew it up the year before that. He was a top 3 pick last year. I don't think he goes top 3. I think he's top 5. What's it, McCaffrey? But I think he's in the mix. Shit, I haven't even really. Let's see, who else would be a top 5? Mahomes? No, well, top 10. You got to go there, top 10 with him. Top 3, shit. Who blew it up last year? Shit. I'm trying to think of like the crazy good players. I mean, we haven't changed any in our league, at least. We haven't changed anything as far as the scoring goes, right?
No, I could see the top 5, dude. The top 5 are pretty well. I would say top 4 out of the top 5.
Who you got over there?
So I'm looking at it right here in a PPR, which we are a PPR.
Yep.
McCaffrey.
Uh-huh.
Okay, to me he's a top 3. I'd be happy. I mean, if I had the 1, I'd probably take him at 1. But if he fell to 2 or 3, shoot, I'm taking him.
I'll take him at 4 or 5. I'll take him at 6.
Yeah, he's not falling 6.
I'm just saying.
They got him at number 1. Dalvin Cook had a really good year last year, too.
He did.
Dalvin Cook. And the other dude that, to me, they have him at 5 here, but that's because it's a PPR, is Derrick Henry. King Henry, dude. You know, I mean, he had, 2,000 yards rushing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a stupid good year. He's kind of a safe pick to take in that 3 spot. You know what I'm saying?
In the 3, 4 spot, I would take Henry. Yeah.
Okay, the other dudes they have up there, Alvin Kamara, they have him at the number 3 spot. Mm-hmm. Saquon Barkley, to me, is a wild card. They have him at the 4 spot in front of Henry.
I would take Henry over.
If that 3 spot came to me, I would take Henry at that 3 for sure. And I am definitely taking McCaffrey and Cook at that 1 and 2.
I like it.
If that 3. And then I'd probably go Kamara 4. They have Saquon.
Last year, I got Kamara at 5.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna get him at 5 this year.
No, I ain't gonna get him. I can't.
Saquon,
I'm at 6.
They have Saquon at 4. I would take Ezekiel Elliott, man, just because I know that Dak is supposed to be coming back.
I will tell you right now, if Zeke is there at 6,
That's
taking
where
Zeke.
They have him at.
I'm taking Zeke at 6.
Of course.
Heartbeat.
Yeah, of course.
In a heartbeat, I'll take Zeke at 6.
Well, yeah, because you're a Cowboys fan. No shit.
No, but exactly what you just said. Exactly what you said. I mean, granted, they're the greatest shape of their career.
Yeah.
Right? We're going back to that old adage.
The dudes they have up there next are kind of, to me, I'm like, I'm not sure I'll take them.
Who they got?
They have Nick Chubb at the 7 spot, Jonathan Taylor at the 8.
No.
I'd rather take Austin Eckler at like that 7, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Kelsey, Eckler at 10, Hill.
I could see Kelsey going 10.
I might take Jones up there too, because now Jones is by himself up there because my boy left to Detroit.
Yeah.
So I might take Jones up there a little higher. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think the wild card is definitely Saquon. I think he falls. I would take Elliott before Saquon.
How far do you think? You know, I'm gonna be blowing up Saquon hard. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, bro, Saquon all day," and blah blah blah, trying to get Elliott to drop at 6. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think it'd be dumb for me not to take Elliott at 6 if he falls that far, which I don't see why he wouldn't, just because of the players you named that are above him. But you never know who's going to pick who.
I just told you why he wouldn't, because Saquon's going off the injury and he's on a shitty team.
I know Evans in front of me, so... Oh, no, is Evans? No, Evans behind me. Who's in front of me? I'll make sure they take Barkley. I'll be like, bro, you got to take Barkley. It's the dumb choice not to take Barkley.
Please take Barkley. Don't make me have to take a giant. Please. I'll do whatever. I
Papa.
have another child. You can name him.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I would take for sure. I'd move Saquon out there. I'd take it, Elliott. I personally, if you ask me, Brent, I don't think Elliott's gonna be there. I think Elliott's gonna be taking that 5 slot.
If
I
he
don't
is,
wanna
he
see it.
is.
Because it's gonna be. It's gonna. I bet you anything. It's gonna be between Saquon and Elliott right there
At 5'6"?
At that 5. At that 5.
Uh-huh.
And then they're gonna have to choose between those two because I see the other 4 going in that top 4. The order might change, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Based on preferences and stuff like that. But that 5 is gonna be between Barkley and Elliott. That 5 is gonna be between Barkley and Elliott. Let me tell you, I would take Elliott in a heartbeat at 5.
Well,
In a
yeah.
heartbeat. I take Saquon at 6. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to choose between them, I'm taking Elliott at 5.
I mean, believe me. I mean, if that's gonna be my choice, I mean, Saquon or Elliott, like shit, man. Right? I hope Saquon's healthy, and I hope Elliott ate his Wheaties. But I would really rather prefer.
Would that hurt?
Huh?
Would that hurt? Would that hurt having to take Saquon?
A little bit. I'd have to be like watching the fucking their games or whatever, and
Would you rather trade with me so that you don't have to take him?
no. I need a good running back, and he's still a good running back if he's healthy.
But you could get someone else at that 7 and still be closer on the flip side.
Yeah, no, I'm
Coming
fine,
around
bro.
on picks.
I'm okay.
But
I'm gonna talk. Who's in 5th?
that's who you really.
That's who I need to talk to. Is who's in 5th?
You say,
yeah,
look, let me get your first pick, and then we could flip on the 2nd and 3rds.
Yeah, you know what's funny though is I'm gonna do that, and then the number 4 guy is gonna take fucking Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, that would suck. That would suck.
It would hurt so
man.
much.
That would suck. Yeah, I'd love to trade down to that 9. To be honest, I'd love to trade it that 9. I gotta see who that 9 is.
All right,
See,
before
I don't
we
fucking
bore
know.
everybody with our
All right.
our fantasy football.
But those were our picks, right? I was
Yeah.
curious to see who was out there and top 3 guys. I'm for those of you who are starting prep and look around and stuff. I'm taking McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry.
1, 2, and 3,
In
right
any
there.
of those order. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Those are my top 3 guys right there for sure.
And then number 4.
Right? Kamara for sure.
All right, so you got Kamara at 4, so definitely it's going to be that 5-6 combo right there.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody takes Barkley or Elliott in front of Kamara?
In our league or in general? I think
In
in
general.
general, a lot of people will because if there's Cowboy fans, or Giants fans and stuff like that, they're going to be jumping the gun and taking their players, Especially if there's a boatload of Cowboy fans, like people that live in California that visited and had a Whataburger one time love the Cowboys,
Had a Whataburger like 32 times, so shut up.
Yeah, there you go. You started one after that.
All right, anything else before we get out of here, man?
That's it, man. I'm excited for Shohei in the home run derby. I think we should. You know what? I would really love to meet up with you and watch that with you. That'd be cool.
It'd be really dope. Not only do that, but do like a live watch party of the home run derby with like live reactions and shit like that. So if you like come here or we go there, to be able to set it up so that we could like we're talking about everything going on and just watch the home runs and kind of talk about it with people going live and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, if anybody want to join, that'd be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
It's
Alright.
always a weekday, so
Yeah.
and it's in the summer, so I'm probably gonna have to go to you because you're gonna be working. I'm gonna be off.
Yeah, it usually happens. You're going to have to. Sorry, bud.
Yeah,
Oh, shucks. You have to come here.
I'm on vacation. It's all right. No problem.
Whatever. All right, Papa. Let me have the patented Artie goodbye.
All right, mi gente. Even though the COVID restrictions have calmed down, gotta still be safe out there. People are still catching COVID. Somebody at my wife's work caught COVID again.
Oh, geez.
So make sure you wash your hands and just be careful out there. If you don't want to wear a mask because they've calmed down, that's cool. Hopefully you got your shot and you're taking care of yourself. Because I would hate for something happening with you guys. So just be careful out there. Make sure you wash your hands and maintain those safety measures and be safe. And I'll see you next week.
Right on, right on, right on. That's wiser words have never been spoken. So, yeah, like you said, man, you guys just be safe. Just because the restrictions have been lifted, or if they've already been lifted wherever you guys are at, just be careful. Just be cautious. Don't freak out, but just be cautious. Don't freak out on other people. Don't do this and that. I know the comadre today went to Sam's Club to pick up some stuff, and there was a sign on the door: if you're vaccinated, you're Gucci. You don't have to wear a mask. And she called me. She was like, "Should I wear it?" And I was like, "Well, is it packed?" And she said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Then wear it. If it's empty, then all right, I might have it hanging on one ear, getting ready to throw it back on in case people start walking towards me." But just be safe, guys, and don't forget, guys. We're glad that you made it to the weekend. That we were here to keep you company. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow. Follow us on social media. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on all these other fun things. Hopefully we can get together for the Home Run Derby, have a live show. Hopefully you guys can come and hang out and enjoy that with us. Some live reactions and some good times. But I am Brent. That was Artie. And we'll catch you guys next week. Fucking A. So have a nice night, everybody.